Hold on. There.
Hello, viewers. I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Alexis. Welcome to Legit KidLit, a YouTube series that features the silly side of KidLit authors and illustrators.
Today, we welcome middle grade spooky author Jenna Lehne.
Hey, Jenna.
Hello. I'm Jenna Lehne, like these lovely ladies said. Thank you so much for having me. I'm coming at you from snowy Calgary, Alberta, all the way up in Canada. This is my book, Bone Tree. It came out from Blue Bronco Books in April, and it is truly the book of my heart. This is the most like my favorite thing that I've ever written. You can find me in a couple of anthologies. I'm over at the Midnight Society every once in a while as well. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, everything. So you can find me just with my name. And I'm super stoked to be here and get to hang out with you guys this morning.
Yay, we're glad that you're here too. So we're going to start with a book talk, and then we're going to have a fun challenge for you.
Okay, bring it on.
Okay. Tiffany and I both read your book and we both loved it. And your book combines a lot of themes: humor, death, grief, and ghosts, and it works so well. What helped you keep your focus with all of those themes?
Well, I'm a big like Marvel fan, and I have a really silly like middle grade level sense of humor as it is. So writing those parts were really natural. I lost my late father-in-law about a year before I started writing it. So it was really easy to draw upon those emotions, and it was the first time I kind of like looked at my grief head on, and it was really therapeutic to write it. It really helped me. Oh, that's my cat Lemons. Put how I was feeling into words. And it really helped me work through a lot of issues. So it was really natural to kind of pull all these different aspects of myself, and they just happened to work well braided together into a story. And really sad playlists that make me cry. That usually helps too.
What's one of your favorite sad songs?
One of my favorite movies growing up was called The Halloween Tree. And it's about a kid who's very sick, and his soul gets taken by this scary ghoul who puts all the souls into jack-o'-lanterns. And the soundtrack to it is gorgeous. So I like writing to that. Anything Danny Elfman, that man breaks my heart. He does all the Tim Burton movies. So I mostly write to that, like Corpse Bride soundtrack's pretty good. So anything like that really draws you into a kind of morose, sad mood. So I kind of have to be sad to write sad. So.
Yeah. Why do you think tackling these tough topics is important for middle grade readers?
I think that like kids are just like our tiny humans. They have all the exact same emotions that we have. They deal with grief, with fear, with anger, with loss. And I found that when I was growing up, there was a lot of books that would be scary, or a lot of books that would be these like heartbreaking contemporaries, but I never found anything that bridged it together. And I think when you write horror, it opens up a portal to navigate some of these darker emotions that kids feel in a way that kind of takes them out of reality, but still allows you to feel your feelings. But at the same time, you can kind of walk away from the book when you want. So it's kind of like I don't know, I think horror gives you a lot of space to explore some darker things that kids are dealing with. And yeah.
Can you read to us one of your favorite parts of Bone Tree?
I can. This part is super short, but this is my favorite paragraph in the whole book. That night, I dream of the woman in white. She's hovering above my bed, breathing into my face. It smells like rotten eggs and ashes. Why did you take a soul from me? Her teeth are broken and rotten. Her skin is the color of maggots, and it squirms and twitches like them too. I thrash and roll, but she's always in front of my face. No matter where I turn, she's always in my face. screaming at me to return the pearl earrings. So that's a snippet that I really like. And so it's kind of, the tone of the book is a little bit maybe on the spookier side, but I think kids can handle it. And it's kind of fun to push the limits with making people afraid without using horror stereotypes like, lots of violence or jump scares or anything. It's kind of fun to play around with more of the atmospheric blends of horror. So I really like it. I personally like feeling like you have to run into your bed and jump over the edge. Otherwise something is going to grab you. So that's kind of the tone that I still, when I turn off the lights in the basement, I book it up the stairs still. I'm like, whatever is down there, like not today.
Same.
I'm curious, what are the age recommendation levels here, if there are any?
So I would like 8 to 12 is kind of, I think it's happy space. I've had friends with older children, like 13, 14, that have enjoyed it. Like my family and friends are all obviously adults, and they like it too. And my stepdaughter's 9, and it wasn't too scary for her. She probably just told me she liked it because she has to, but you never.
And I agree. I think you did a great blend of humor, and then it was super, the setting is super spooky, and you get kind of pulled into that. And yeah, I think it is a perfect little blend of horror, humor, and then some sadness, but then there's some happy. So I agree with all of that.
Ends on a happy note. It's hard to find a silver lining in death and losing a loved one. I kind of just told the story I needed to hear myself at the time. Just, when someone leaves, you can't, even as much as you want them to stay there, even as a ghost, that's still not a good way for them. So I don't know. I think accepting the loss of a loved one is really tricky, but I tried to kind of give it a little upward beat, but I don't know if that's possible, but I tried.
All right. Well, speaking of humor, let's get something silly now that we've had that talk. So are you ready for a challenge?
I'm ready.
We are going to ask you 30 questions, and you have 5 minutes to answer as many as you can. You can pass if you need to, but the goal is to answer as many as you can. How many do you think that you'll get?
I am a rambler, so I'm going to go with 17 conservatively.
Oh, good. Self-awareness. Tiffany, do you have a timer? You know you're a rambler. I am too.
Yep.
All right. So, are we ready? Yes? Okay. Question number 1. Which is scarier, dark woods or haunted house?
Dark woods. Haunted house, you're constricted. You know everything that's in there. Woods, possibilities are endless.
2. Which would you rather befriend, a ghost or a witch?
Oh, a witch. I have cut me off in traffic. Hexed. Done.
3. Team werewolf or team vampire?
Vampire. Always.
Most ridiculous fear?
Swimming in water where I can't see the bottom.
Would you rather touch a spider or a snake?
Oh, a snake. I have a snake named Checkers. He's the best. I love him.
Do you like to go to haunted houses?
I love haunted houses, except I spend most of the time with my face buried between the person in front of me's shoulders. So.
Do you scream when you're scared?
All the time.
Scariest movie?
Oh, The Ritual.
Favorite spooky book?
The Slappy series from Arlstein.
Dream Halloween costume?
Ursula, with tentacles that are very, very long, and I can control them.
Yes. Favorite Halloween candy?
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Scary movie with lights on or off?
Off.
Do you sleep with a nightlight?
No, I have a very large boyfriend.
Would you go to a cemetery at night?
Absolutely.
If your soul was to transfer to an object, what would it be?
A homemade walnut sweater.
What was
Alexis?
that? Oh.
Oh, did you hear me? A sweater that someone's grandma made.
Oh, clowns, scary or funny?
A little bit of both. Scary and funny.
Best best spooky story setting.
Isolated. Somewhere far away. It doesn't matter if it's a cabin, if it's a house, if it's a graveyard, somewhere where you are alone and you are the only resource that you have.
Oh, story starter. Give us 5 words that would start a scary story.
She died on a she died on a Tuesday.
Okay. Favorite villain.
Oh, favorite villain. Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to use all my time trying to think of my favorite villain. Pinhead.
Last time you were scared.
Every single time my children leave the house without me, I'm terrified.
Yep.
What person would you love to co-write a book with?
I think Lindsay Curry and I could make some magic.
You find a diary that tells you the future. Do you keep it?
Absolutely not. That's going in the fire. No one should know their own fate.
You realize you are shrinking. What do you do?
Get myself into a museum before it closes and go into like all like the secret archive rooms and in the basement and like check everything out.
Would you rather be haunted by a ghost or be a ghost?
I'd rather be haunted by a ghost. I think being a ghost would be a really lonely existence after a while.
Would you rather fight a giant basilisk or a giant spider?
Basilisk for sure. Whoa.
Which classic monster is your favorite, Dracula or Frankenstein?
Dracula. His pullover people.
Would you rather be Yes. Would you rather be attacked by crows or bats?
Crows. Bats are terrifying. They get in your hair.
Halloween party or stay home for a scary movie night?
Stay home.
Shark attack or zombie attack?
Oh, zombie attack.
All right, last question. Would you rather be the first or the last who turns into a zombie?
Oh, the last.
You did it. You did all 30. And you had 8 seconds left.
That favorite villain really hung me up. I was like, I had like a Rolodex. I was like, ooh. Yeah.
That was amazing.
That is a hard one.
That was cool.
I'm so proud of you. You did it all.
So, Jenna, let's end with, are you doing any author visits or how can teachers get a hold of you if they want to
You
have you in
can
their classroom?
DM me on Instagram. I'm Jenna_Lehne on Twitter and Instagram. I think my email contact is on my website as well, jennalehne.com. I'm doing virtual visits whenever you want. Just because spooky season is wrapping up doesn't mean you can't be afraid all through Christmas. So, I do free author visits. Just shoot me a message.
Well, thank you so much. This has been just amazing. We appreciate you hanging out with us today and having fun.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
To all of our readers out there, we hope you enjoyed our show and are inspired to pick up some new and amazing books like The Bone Tree. And we'll be back next Sunday with a new author, special guest, and plenty of crazy fun. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Tiffany, and we are signing out.
Bye. Happy Halloween, everyone.